I think I'm gonna start recording my big thoughts. I used to do these kind of like video diaries when I couldn't afford therapy. I didn't have a lot of people in my life. Still don't have a lot of people in my life. Things were going really poorly and I just needed to let things out. So there's still things in my life that are similar to the things I was going through at that time. Also, my life is completely different at this point. Life is so hard, so challenging, so emotionally draining, but I'm also so grateful for the life I have right now. Anyways, with that being said, I was talking to someone recently, and I was talking to a couple of people recently. In broad terms, just about work-life balance, I guess. I think, now that I think about it, they seemed like they were on two extreme ends of the spectrum. One of them kind of did the thing where they took a leap of faith and they were like, I'm no longer going to be working for someone. I don't want to work for someone. I don't want to have a traditional job that way. This isn't a path I see for myself. This is draining. I'm wasting time doing this. I want to do XYZ. Boom, left their job. They did that without, I think, a super clear path of what it is that they wanted to do, but kind of like a vague abstract idea. Fine. They left traditional work. And then I spoke to someone else, and they're the opposite. They left their hobbies and passions and interests and replace work for a large company, work long hours, it's a difficult job that they kind of really have to pour themselves into. And as long as they do, they get to kind of climb that corporate ladder. So one person is following their things and left traditional work, and the other person dove headfirst into traditional work and left all of their interests and all that behind. Two different ends, but ironically, the mental turmoil that they were in, the difficulties they were facing, the way I heard it sounded similar. Both were very much in a it's this or nothing. Like they were all in. And whatever it was, they were all in type of people. But, you know, things weren't panning out the way that this one wanted it to be, and this one was getting burnt out. And both are just fed up and frustrated and all the things and whatnot. And, you know, I think that there are moments that you have to work through. And I just felt like I didn't hold a lot of those same viewpoints that they did about work and life, especially now. And I think that also what they want in life are such extremes. Maybe because their goals are such extremes, then the decisions that they make are equally as extreme. I don't really fall into that. I'm not a super extreme person. I'm kind of just here. And the way that I viewed it, and I tried to explain it, is again different because we have different goals and different needs and different things and whatever, but I might get there at some point. This person's also a little bit older than me, so I might get there at some point, and then, you know, things will shift and whatnot and la-di-da, but this is just the way that I am now. And I'm a creative person. I like to make things. I never had the goal or assumed that the things I make are gonna contribute to my income or support my lifestyle. I didn't really ever think of making money from the things that I make. So with that being said, I always kind of knew that I was gonna have a job. I expected it and I accepted it. I also kind of had the viewpoint of I don't necessarily need the riches and the extremes and the whatever. Ideally, I work hard enough to not have to stress about money, but I also don't live solely to make money, if that makes sense. I don't want my whole life to revolve around how much money I make or how much money I have or don't have. And I was just kind of done with it. I don't want to worry about money anymore. But obviously I have to live, and I don't necessarily want to live paycheck to paycheck. I want to meet my needs, have a little more comfortable, but I don't need to make $50,000 a month. It's okay. I'll be okay. Do I want to be comfortable? Yeah, but I don't need the extreme. So that being said, I knew my art wasn't really going to contribute to things. I was going to have a job, and I also wasn't willing to kill myself over a job. Another kind of non-negotiable I have is that I need, to me, a necessity I have in my life is being able to create. I want to have the time, the energy, the resources to participate in my hobbies. I'm creative, and I just feel like my quality of life decreases immensely if I don't have that. So it's built into my budget of life to maintain the ability to do those things. I want to work hard enough to be able to do those things. My goal is, my job doesn't have to make me a bajillion dollars and whatever, but it needs to sustain me and my lifestyle and the things that I consider non-negotiables, the things that make me happy and whatnot. It needs to be able to sustain that. And then from there, it's on me. I want to be so good at my job. I want to be so good at my job. Like, I'm confident in my abilities. I'm confident I can get things done correctly and in a timely manner. No staying late or no feeling super anxious all the time. Like, there's gonna be days, but anxious all the time, just feeling like I'm drowning in work or, whatever it may be. I want to feel really confident in my job because I know that I live off of my job. I need it. So I want to do a good job at it. And being so confident in my abilities at my job, I feel like allows me to clock out or finish my days and be able to leave it so that I have the mental bandwidth, the energy, the time, the resources to do my interests, to create things, to be artistic, XYZ. Because then if anything does happen or whatever, and I do need to log in and, clock back in and get something done or whatever, like, I just feel confident that I don't have to like scramble all the time, or I don't have to worry all the time, because I'm confident in my abilities at work. So I need it, I can clock out, and then I don't have to stress. It doesn't always have to be life-changing work. It doesn't always have to be climbing a corporate ladder. It doesn't always have to be making $1 billion. I want to be happy. And the way that I'm happy is not stressing so much over money. But one of these people, I was talking about it, and it's like what I said went right over their head, because they're like, well, I can't afford to take away my attention and start performing worse in my job just because I want to have time to do my hobbies. And I'm like, no, you missed the point. It's not that I want to take away from my job. No, it's almost like my hobbies are the reward. My hobbies are both the reward and also the non-negotiable. I have to have it, and I know that. Because I'm not me, I'm not happy if I don't have those things. So I have to have my interest in my life. I have to be able to build my life around that in a way. So it's a non-negotiable. I need to have this in my life. This thing also, while it's non-negotiable, is the reward for doing so well at this thing. I don't get to partake in my interests every day if I have more work to do, or if I have to catch up on something, or if I have to whatever. And there's days like that, and that's fine. But I feel like because I know that I need this thing, it just pushes me and motivates me that much more to do well at my job. So if I take a week off of doing whatever because I spent some extra time looking over certain documents or catching up on certain things, planning, whatever, for me to be able to perform better at my job, then that just means I've set myself up better for the next month, or for my future in whatever company or in whatever position. Like, if I'm setting myself up to do well in my job, I also think about the fact that I'm setting myself up to feel so confident that I know I'll be able to let it go when I need to, clock out when I need to, and partake in those things that I so thoroughly enjoy and need in my life. It's not that I'm letting go of this one because I value this one more. No, they kind of work in tandem. I almost also view it as like a little kid doing homework at the table with their mom, but they're sitting by the window, they could see all their friends from the neighborhood playing or doing whatever, like something that they want to do so badly, but they're doing their homework. And they know that they might as well get it done quickly and get it done correctly, because their mom is sitting right there and she's going to look it over, and if they get it wrong, they're just going to have to waste more time and redo it. So it's like, no, let me log in. Let me get this done quickly, accurately, and then I can go out and do the thing that I want to do because it's right there. Doing this so I can get there. And I need that in my life, which means I need to do great at this. You see how it all kind of ties together? And I don't think everyone thinks about it that way, because they think in extremes. We have a very hustle culture, and they're just so all or nothing. Like, you're all this, and you climb this, and you do this, and you take these steps, and whatever, like, it's all planned out. And if you do it, you get XYZ, and you can keep going, you can make all this money, and you can get all of these riches, and all these things, and all this whatever. Or the opposite way. And it's like you hustle and you post every day, or you do this every day, like you work at your craft, you do whatever, and you let go of everything because everything else is just taken away from you being able to do the thing that you love. And while I think that they work for people, I also think that they don't work for others. At this stage in my life now, I don't really see that working for me. It hasn't been something I wanted to adopt. I think if I do anything with that kind of mindset, I'll fail because I'm just not that kind of person. I'll burn out in that way. Whichever one, I'll burn out. Again, things can change, but just knowing that an option like this exists because you get to choose your life and whatever way you view your lifestyle and how you get your necessities and how you indulge in your interests, how you reward yourself, how you set yourself up for success in whatever way you view that. To me, I'm feeling successful in beginning to create a life I like. And it isn't always easy all the time, but I hope more people know that the in-between still exists. You don't have to be so on these ends of a spectrum. Maybe not even the in-between, but like the third option, the fourth, fifth, like everything isn't yes or no. Like there's gray area, there's other options, there's other avenues. Yeah, you don't always have to be this or that. You can be so many things. And I was thinking about that. Anyways, that was my thought. And let me see. It is February 9th, 2026. Let's see if anything changes later.